It is Friday, April 30th, 2021. Welcome into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Today we are recapping last night's wild race at Jacksonville for the Outlaws. There's news from CJB and their driver lineup. We look ahead to the weekend for the main national series and more, so let's jump in. Well, I hope you watched the Outlaw show last night from Jacksonville because it was a wild one and one to remember. If you didn't, do yourself a favor today and go back and watch the highlights at the very least. The night started off with a Sheldon Haudenschild new track record in qualifying. He lapped the quarter-mile Illinois Bull Ring in a time of 9.990 seconds. We talked yesterday on the show about the track being primed for a possible 9-second lap, and it happened unofficially in hot laps with Aaron Reitzel going sub 10 seconds, and then Sheldon doing it in qualifying. According to the Outlaw Twitter account, it was the 6th time in history we've seen a 9-second lap at a World of Outlaws event, with the other 5 happening at River Cities, Bloomington, US 36, Cottage Grove, and Peevely. With 24 cars on such a small racetrack, the leaders were in lap traffic quickly, so there was constant action through the race. We had guys crash and upset with each other, including Robert Ballou having words with Zach Hampton, and Wayne Johnson and Aaron Reitzel exchanging pleasantries as well. For much of the feature, the battle was between Sheldon and points leader Brad Sweet, with the two swapping the lead 3 times through the course of the night. Sheldon looked like he had the field covered after he took over the top spot on lap 28, but a cut tire just a few laps later ended his bid and forced him to the work area. He battled back to finish 9th. A caution-filled final few laps saw Carson Macedo try and lead, Kyle Larson get spun, and Donnie Schatz make a play for win 300. In the end, though, Sweet was able to hold off the field for his 6th win of the season. The shots we were treated to, however, looked like the shots of old, driving up from 8th, biding his time, and rolling the middle like we've seen him do so many times. After that stretch of 5 straight races outside the top 10, Donnie's last 3 races have resulted in a 5th and 2 seconds. It feels again like win 300 is right around the corner. Your top 5 at the end of the night was Sweet winning, Schatz 2nd, David Gravel 3rd, Carson Macedo 4th, and Rico Abreu 5th. Logan Schuchart finished 8th to end his streak of 4 straight races outside the top 15. And Aaron Reitzel's 10th place result after being involved in a crash earlier in the night made it 15 top 10s in 16 starts for Reitzel so far this season. Leaving the night, Sweet extended his points lead to 66 over David Gravel, with Macedo 3rd, Sheldon 4th, and Reitzel in 5th. Looking towards tonight and tomorrow, the series is headed to I-70 Motorsports Park in Missouri for the first time in 35 years. The 3/8 mile track has undergone renovations and looks from the photos to be a very nice facility. It looks like we should be in for a beautiful weekend to head out to an outlaw race as well. The DIRTRACKR.com analytics prediction formula likes David Gravel this weekend over Brad Sweet. If you can't be at I-70, Dirt Vision has live streaming coverage both nights. Before we jump into other racing happening this weekend, we did have some news yesterday from CJB Motorsports. The team's initial plan was to run Brent Marks full-time with the AllStars in the 5 car and Paul McMahon in a sizable pick-and-choose schedule in the 23. That plan obviously changed with Brent Marks deciding last week to leave the team and return to fielding his own operation. The team announced yesterday they will remain a 2-car operation, with McMahon's team becoming the 5, and then the second car being renumbered to the 5X, which will then be shared by Spencer Bayston and Buddy Kofoid. McMahon will take Mark's place and stay out full-time with the AllStars along with marquee events, while Kofoid and Bayston will appear in the 5X in between their own packed schedules of racing. Kofoid has a sizable midget schedule with Keith Coons, along with select pavement late model dates on his schedule, while Bayston has been running races in Bernie Stubjan's Indy Race Parts 71. McMahon will instantly be a contender with the All-Stars, and this move gives Kofoid and Bayston great opportunities with a strong team. The All-Star Championship goes to the winner of the owner's points, so McMahon is effectively inheriting Mark's current 5th position in the standings. It won't appear that way on the points on the website because the All-Stars post driver points, but we will keep you updated as the season rolls along. Speaking of the All-Stars, you'll see McMahon out this weekend when the series heads to Lernerville tonight, Sharon Speedway tomorrow, and Tri-City Raceway Park on Sunday. Justin Peck leads the All-Stars into the weekend atop the series point standings, while guys like Ian Madsen, Corey Eliason, and Tyler Courtney are hot on his heels. The All-Stars' last appearance at Lernerville was in 2019, and Aaron Reitzel was the winner that night. With no Reitzel in the field this season, things will be wide open. It's interesting to note that the guy who finished second to Reitzel that night back in 2019 was none other than Paul McMahon. The series made 2 trips to Sharon in 2020 with Kyle Larson and Cale Conley getting wins, and the series hasn't been to Tri-City in Pennsylvania since 2017. Tim Schaefer was the winner back then. We've had 9 winners in 10 races so far this season with the All-Stars, and a series regular hasn't won since Peck won at Attica in the points season opener back on April 3rd. If you can't be at the track this weekend, watch the All-Stars live on Flow Racing. If you're needing a late model fix this weekend, you're in luck, as both national series are in action with the Outlaws at Boone Speedway for the Hawkeye 100 and Lucas in Kentucky. The Outlaws are coming off their own Kentucky stop last weekend, with Tim McCready taking the win at Richmond Raceway. With cancellations last weekend, this will be the first time in 2021 the Outlaws and Lucas are scheduled against each other. Brandon Shepard enters these 2 nights as the series points leader over Chris Madden and Kyle Strickler, but he's still seeking that first win of 2021 and his first official laps led. Behind him, Chris Madden has been hot lately with finishes of 4th, 2nd, 6th, and 2nd in his previous 4 races. He's climbed up the standings quickly in recent weeks. Early season points leader Kyle Strickler's slide has continued, with his streak now sitting at 7 straight races, finishing outside the top 10. The DIRTRACKR.com analytics prediction formula likes Shepard this weekend, as his record on quarter-mile tracks is very good. He leads all drivers in recent seasons in quarter-mile wins and average finish. Another driver to keep an eye on this weekend is Ricky Weiss. After struggling with his own stretch of finishes outside the top 15, he's turned it around the last 2 races with finishes of 2nd at Bristol and 4th at Richmond. You can watch the Hawkeye 100 weekend live on Dirt Vision. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is back tonight and tomorrow at Ponderosa and Florence in Kentucky after 12 days off. Jonathan Davenport is the most recent winner with the series from back on April 18th at Port Royal. After struggling through the opening week of the season, Tim McCready has caught fire, and his results have carried him all the way to the Lucas points lead. He now leads it by 40 over Hudson O'Neal. He grabbed his first win of 2021 a few weeks ago at Hagerstown and hasn't finished worse than 10th since January 27th. Brandon Shepard sits 3rd in the standings, with Devin Moran and Kyle Bronson rounding out the top 5. We will see some shifting in that top 5 with Bishop in Iowa with the Outlaws. Davenport won at Ponderosa in 2020, topping Billy Moyer Jr. and Mike Marlar, while the series made 4 appearances at Florence last season. Earl Pearson Jr., Jimmy Owens, Mike Marlar, and Tim McCready were winners in those events. Hudson O'Neal and Tyler Herb lead all drivers with 2 wins each. McCready and Moran are tied with 6 for most top 5s, and McCready, O'Neal, and Brandon Overton all have 8 top 10s. If you can't attend the Lucas shows this weekend, MAV TV Plus has live coverage. Rounding out the list of National Series races this weekend is 2 nights for the USAC National Midgets at Kokomo Speedway in Indiana. That series has been off since April 11th at Port City. Tanner Thorson is the most recent winner with the series. With 4 race nights complete in 2021, Buddy Kofoid is atop the point standings, leading Thomas Meserol by 7 markers. Thorson, Justin Grant, and Chris Wyndham round out the top 5. There was no Kokomo appearance for the Midgets in 2020 because of COVID, with Tyler Courtney and Kevin Thomas Jr. grabbing the most recent wins at the track back in 2019. Besides the usual cast of characters you can expect to be battling for the win, youngsters Dayton Persley and Emerson Axum are entering the weekend on high notes, with those 2 drivers grabbing Power Eye Midget wins last weekend at Lucas Oil and Valley Speedways. Buddy Kofoid leads all drivers with 2 wins. He and Justin Grant have the most top 5s with 3, and Timez, Grant, and Kofoid have all finished top 10 in every race so far this year. If your trip to Kokomo isn't in the cards, all USAC national events are available on Flow Racing. If you're looking for other racing to check out this weekend, find the schedule at dirtondirt.com for late model shows and the calendar at tjslideways.com for open wheel racing. There are literally 28 shows on the streaming schedule for today, just an insane amount of racing to check out if you can't be at the track this weekend. There's Northeast Racing on Dirt Track Digest, both World of Outlaws series on Dirt Vision, USAC, ASCS, AllStars, and more on Flow Racing. Lucas Late Models are on MAV TV Plus, and there's a ton of weekly and regional racing across Racing Boys, Racing Dirt, Speed Sport, and The Cushion. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. you can do that through the weekend as well. That's it for the show today. Hope everybody has a good Friday and a good weekend. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. You can find DIRTRACKR Daily where you get podcasts plus YouTube and Facebook. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe and leave a review. You can email the show at info@dirtracker.com. I do check those every single day. You can follow DIRTRACKR on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at DIRTRACKR. And you can check out the website for all kinds of cool dirt racing stuff by visiting dirtracker.com. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday for more DIRTRACKR Daily.